So welcome CIS 157. Let me just adjust the lights. Many adjustments that we have to make sometimes. Is this okay with everyone? Okay, welcome back. Today's presentation is going to be, if I scroll down to the outline, relational operators and flow control. Okay, so this is the set of topics for today. And also, let's start our NetBeans environment so we can do some programming. So while it's starting, I will let it start. Let's go to this presentation. So relational operators formulate in some way a Boolean expression. Boolean expression essentially evaluates to true or false. If we have a way to construct an expression which tells us true or false, this would be quite usable to make a decision based on the outcome of that expression evaluation. So that's why, relational operators traditionally is the test for equality, inequality, say between numbers or some other objects, greater than, less than, other types of comparison. And Boolean expressions are also called conditional expressions. So this is an important part of any programming language which is capable of dealing with expressions, and such as Java, C, C++, Visual Basic, C#, and so forth. And I just want to make a note. Perhaps I already said this before, but anytime there is more than one character that formulates a particular operator, for example, test for inequality. I'll see if my NetBeans already started. So perhaps I can say new project and go to a new project and name it. So once again, I prefer to choose very specifically where my project will be stored. So this will be the location, and the name of the project is going to be relational ops, I guess that's the name. And the main class, just main app, I guess would do the work. So finish, create this relational ops project. We'll make some adjustments. As always, keep things simple for now. And an example of this would be integer 1 equals 1, integer 2 equals 2, and then I can say if 1 equals 2, then system dot out dot print line. We can say numbers are the same. Right? So the point of discussion goes through some technical aspects. When you make an assignment, like in this initialization statement, you assign initial value of 1 to a variable such and such, and the value of 2 to variable such and such. You use a single equal sign. When you test for equality, the operator is different. The operation is absolutely different, drastically different from assignment. You simply want to look at both values and see if they're the same. They're not the same, so our message is not going to be printed. But perhaps if I change it to exclamation equal, this is a Java operator for test for inequality. Essentially, this is, are those two numbers different? Or are they not the same? In all cases like this, it's a mistake to use space or any number of white space between the two signs if the operator is expressed as two signs. And also when you use operators such as unequal, you need to remember that all the time the equal sign is going to be the last one. So there is no, to eliminate the confusion, there is no such operator as equal exclamation point. There is no such operator as equal greater, right? That's non-existing operator. Every time you work with your operators, and there is an equal sign in the second place, it is always going to be in the second place. Please remember it. So just so it means that if you remember one of them, inequality test, exclamation point equal, then it's easy to remember. Then greater or equal test, just like this, is also going to look like uh, the same form with an equal sign in second place. So just, I don't know, sometimes I make my own mistakes and don't remember the position, but it's just a rule that is very consistent across Java. So anyway, this is an example of using this particular inequality operator, or for that matter, greater than or equal, and so forth. So let's move on to the next slide. So conditional expressions very often are used with a certain statement, such as an if statement. Okay, but at the same time, they can stand by themselves, right? For example, I could create a variable, a Boolean variable, variable named flag, for the lack of a better name, and say 1 equals 2. Like, test if the two numbers are equal. So the result of this, inside the parentheses, for clarity's sake, I say, well, let's compare 1 to 2. If they're equal, the result is true. If they're not equal, the result is false, right? So then I can say, all right, let me just print what the outcome of this is. I can say flag is, and then print what the flag is. Something like that, converting the output to string. And if I run this, well, hopefully I can run this. So it takes a while to compile. So it runs and says flag is false. Let me increase the font on this. Control plus does the trick to change the font in the output window, which is very helpful, right? So the flag is false simply because 1 does not equal 2. If I change it to, say, is 1 less or equal to, which should be true, and run it again, obviously the NetBeans saves the program, recompiles the program, and then executes it and displays the result. So now the flag is true. So you can see, not necessarily in statement, which is very, very, very popular place for relational operators to occur, inside those conditions that are used with our if statements, but also those relational operators or expressions that involve conditions can be used on their own, and the result can be remembered as a Boolean result, which is always true or false. So that's to kind of give us the look and feel for relational operators. Okay, so conditional expressions are expressions that involve those types of operators. And you can see different signs are used to express different conditions, and those are yet other set of examples.